Good morning. Here we are at the end of our shakedown trip with the new campervan layout. And before we head back to Calais for our crossing, I wanted to have a little bit of a brief rundown about our initial thoughts from this 2+ week trip testing the new layout. In a previous video, I explained how I recovered our vehicle from a breakdown at a beachside campsite in France on the Mediterranean coast, north of Montpellier, outside of a city called Agde. What I discovered was that our air conditioning compressor had seized and prevented the engine from rotating. This had in turn caused the starter motor to burn out, and to get the car going again, I had to remove the air conditioning compressor, fit a shorter auxiliary belt, and buy and replace the starter motor, which thankfully got us going again so we could continue our trip to the Pyrenees and then to the southwest coast through the Dordogne. If you want to watch the full story on that breakdown, on our shakedown, there is a link in the description and also in the playlist. It's well worth watching if you're a T4 van owner. For the most part, it's a great change for us as a couple. It's a little bit less comfortable for passengers. So the seat that I did install is not the most comfortable coming out of a school minibus. So I will look at changing that. It most definitely is not big enough for 2 adults. So I do need to look at that in case we want to carry 2 passengers, adult passengers that is. What else are we talking about? The bed. The new bed system that slides out is very comfortable. It's a 5-inch mattress, so 4 inches of reflex foam and 1 inch of memory foam. It's 1 inch deeper than I had originally planned on putting in, and I'm glad I did, although it's made it a little bit awkward to get into the rear upper clothing cabinet, which my wife has been using on this trip. One good thing that we've adopted on this trip, which we've never used before, are packing cubes, and they have been a revelation. I can't believe we haven't used packing cubes before. So if you don't know what they are, they're small zip canvas bags or nylon bags, and you basically distribute your different bits of clothing between the different bags. With our new layout, those packing cubes are excellent. We used to keep our clothes in holdalls in the upper cabinet, which is now changed. It now has a shelf and little compartments, and that layout has been brilliant because I can store my clothes in the packing cubes in that space. The other thing that has worked amazingly well and has really been massively convenient is that storage space underneath the bed. So the raised bed most definitely has more than enough space, more than enough headroom for us to sit on there. We've had our daughter with us on this shakedown trip, and the 3 of us have sat on that bed and played Scrabble, and it's been comfortable. So that's worked really well. Absolutely brilliant. I've got a couple of Euro crates in there, my sup, bodyboard, paddles, internal roof rack, barbecue, gas bottles, broken AC pump, tools, the solar equipment. It really has made a massive difference to the habitation area, the living area where the kitchen is. Let me give you a quick shot of that. So this is the non-Instagram, untidy, real-life version of how things get packed. So the bed is currently folded in half. The mattress is folded in half so that the bed can be pushed back. And what happens is we store the surfboards up there, which I'll show you in a moment when we pack. When the mattress is folded back like this, you obviously cannot access that cupboard. So I might need to look at a way of making that a hinged top, I think, just to give access. But really it only stays like that when we're traveling. The big revelation has been how convenient this garage storage area has been underneath the bed. Now, we wouldn't have been able to do it at that height had we not had a high top, a factory high top with the tall barn doors. But this storage area, I've shuffled these boxes around in a couple of different ways, and it's just brilliant. There are 4 of those Euro crates. Over here we have the kayak behind that gas bottle and broken AC pump. We have the kayak, inflatable kayak, on top of that my sup. Then I've got my Brand X skateboard and bag and a couple of other things. And over here we've got 3 Euro crates of recovery equipment, electrical equipment, sundry equipment, you know, then the skateboard and the table. That's the barbecue over there, another skateboard. All the solar equipment is in the back in that cabinet over there, as well as spare electrical goodies. And on that side I've got tools, another little shelf with tools. What else is down here? The 2 awnings, the tarp and the Remo Mauritius awning over there. Of course, the electrical connection. Now the other thing is that we had to buy 2 new chairs on this trip because ours collapsed after years of use. You know, they gave us more than 10 years of overlanding use, so that's fine. Now these chairs actually stand vertically in that space, which is brilliant because I had them horizontally and then I realized actually they fitted vertically, which makes it pretty convenient. And then between the chairs and the back doors, when the back doors are closed, there actually is space for the little ramps that we use under the wheels. Go over there. So it's just fantastic. That storage space has really meant that the habitation area can stay free of any of these kinds of gubbins. And if we need to quickly pack up because maybe the weather turns or we just want to move on, it's very easy to just load up this area, push the bed back, fold the mattress over, and we are off. Let me just show you how it works inside. You can see my wife is in there, the Life with Jax, and she's standing upright in that space. The surfboards are currently underneath the van, and there's the cooker in place, and the toilet and the fridge. What do we think about that freezer?
Well, it's been a life changer, a game changer on our trip. Has had all of our food kept beautifully cold over the time that we've needed it. So it's been really, really handy.
Been really good, hasn't it?
Haven't run out of space. Haven't run out of cold. We haven't had any issues with it.
And we've used that 55-litre fridge to carry 3 to 4 days worth of food. So some dry food which is stored in that cabinet over there,
with extra space.
And then, you know, meat and fresh vegetables and drinks and that stored in the freezer, and it's worked exceptionally well. There's the cooker, which has just boiled the water for the morning coffee, which is an absolute necessity. And with this current setup, we have the rotated front passenger seat, which just gives us a little bit of extra seating space indoors if it's cool. We also put the dog's bed on there so he can have a nap, and then we've got our little Dometic 12-volt cooler which sits between the seats when we drive. We haven't really had to rotate that seat on this trip. It does swivel, but we haven't swiveled it on this trip. And you can see there we've used that long drawer for storage. We've got our cutlery and a few bits and pieces in there. That cabinet on the left hand side holds our toilet related accessories and cleaning products. That's below the fridge, which is yet to be plumbed in, and both of those slide out on a rail. So this new layout has been pretty good. That little love seat in the center there, we call it the love seat.
A snug love seat.
Two kids will fit on that comfortably. It's fine for one adult, maybe one adult and a child, but you will not get two adults on that. Chin chin.
Go.
And that is the van packed. Surfboards in, pop-up tent, bodyboard, kayak, sup, chairs. So there you go. That is effectively a quick rundown of the Wonder Wagon's new layout. And the eagle-eyed viewers would have noticed that yes, the solar panels on the roof with the little wind deflector on the front, and they have been great. Very good. We haven't been able to give them a full test on capacity this trip because the fridge has not been running off the house battery because I just didn't get to finish the electrics in time. So those solar panels will power the compressor fridge in future, which is, you know, an autumn winter project for me. What else about this trip? Well, aside from the air conditioning compressor clutch going and then the compressor seizing up and causing our breakdown on the med, everything else has gone smoothly. Thankfully, I was able to repair the van and we could stay with our itinerary. So we did 3 seas. We did the North Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Atlantic. And we got the Pyrenees, the Dordogne, and Perigord in there as well. So it's been a really good trip. The van has been comfortable. We've got cruise control, everything that we need in our rolling home. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and follow the upgrades to the Wonder Wagon over the coming months. Catch you later. Happy days. Thanks for watching. Happy days.